All American food borrowed from other countries. When you will ask anyone, what is most American food, what answer will you get? Hamburger, hot dogs, apple pie and mac and cheese. Well, I am so sorry to burst your bubble. All those dishes, that is, are considered so American, so traditional to this country and its culture, are not American at all. All of them were imported from different places, from around the world. All of them came together with the immigrants and become such an inseparable part of American cuisine. So, without a further ado, let us see from where the American classics really came from. Pizza from Italy. This dish is self-explanatory. Beloved's food in Marica has its origins in Italy. The traditional pizza margherita, tomato sauce, fresh mozzarella and basil, gave the beginning to the huge variety of pizzas on American continent. Over here, you can put almost everything on it, pineapple, or spaghetti pasta, and still call it a pizza, where in Italy it will not just go. Hamburgers from Germany. Thanks to historians, we know already that the practice of serving mincemeat in a burger form, in fact, originates in German city of Hamburg in the 12th century. But the interesting thing is, that is over here, it is a quintessential American food. Burger is a juicy filling dish. Ideally, medium rare, seared beef patties placed inside fresh, lightly toasted buns, accompanied by onion slices, lettuce, and tomato. Ketchup or Dijon mustard in the side is a must. If cheese is added, it should be mozzarella, Gruyere or cheddar, slightly melting and mildly pungent. Here in USA, the most popular is of course American yellow. Always served with freshly made French fries. Donuts from Netherlands. Alico X, which literally translates to oily cakes. It's an absolute Netherlands invention that took the world by storm. Sweet yeast dough, fry in deep oil. Usually with hole in the middle, donuts holes are called munchkins, but that is for a different story. Glazed, powdered, filled, topped with frosting, coconut, peanuts, or sprinkles. Fun fact: every year on the first Friday of June people celebrate the National Donut Day. Kielbasa from Poland. It is a staple of Polish cuisine. In America, the word kielbasa refers to a coarse, U-shaped smoked sausage, any kind of meat, which closely resembles the wiejska sausage, village sausage, pork only. Sausage comes in lots of varieties, smoked or fresh, made with pork, beef, turkey, lamb, chicken, or veal, with every province having its own special kind. In the United States, Polish kielbasa will generally refer to any type of sausage, no matter the choice of meat, and it widely available in local grocery store or supermarkets. Ketchup from China. most essential condiment used all over the world. Simply tomato sugar paste that goes on absolutely everything. Whenever you will think about ketchup, you can almost taste the sweet, tomatoey sauce, but it was not always like that. The ketchup begins in China, centuries ago, under the name catsup, soupy sauce made of tomatoes and food starch. In 18th century in Victorian England, ketchup was made with mushrooms, that give it dark beige/brown color. Over here, we enjoy the ketchup in modern form, thanks to Mr. Heinz, who updated the Chinese recipe, and started selling ketchup, somewhere in the end of 19th century. Hot dogs from Austria and Germany. Another American classic. The sausage itself comes from Germany, country of million sausages. The interesting fact is that stuffing the Frankfurter in a long roll was brought to the US by a Polish immigrant. The German sausage, with a Polish twist on it, became immensely popular in America. Nevertheless, it absolutely does not mean that it was created here. But since the Polish worker immigrated here, the America claimed the creation of the hot dog, as we all know. Bagels from Poland. What is more New York than bagels, you might ask? Well, they are a symbol of the city, but they are not from New York. Bagels, yummy, delicious bagels, were brought by Polish, Catholic and Jewish immigrants from Eastern Europe in 18th and 19th century. The first known mention of the bagel, in 1610, was in a written community laws in Krakow, Poland. Nowadays you cannot imagine New York, during the rush hour, and the huge line to all bagels stores. Apple pie from England. The quintessential American dessert was brought to this country, by British settlers. The first recorded apple pie recipe was written in 1381 in England, and it has been a popular dessert there ever since. One of the theories claims that is the British settlers discovered the huge amount of apple-bearing trees here, in the new land, compared to what they left in England. That is give them the opportunity to make the pie almost on daily basis, which helped tremendously to propagate it among the people. Pickles from ancient Mesopotamia. Over 4,000 years ago, people in ancient Mesopotamia were already making pickles. There are lots of historical records, claiming that Cleopatra and Julius Caesar loved to snack on them. They were immensely popular in Europe. Pickling different vegetables was a great method of preserving food and storing it for later without spoilage. The pickles apparently were brought to America by no one else than Christopher Columbus, and from there all is history. Americans felt in love with those crispy and salty snack, most eaten together with a burger, America's favorite dish, that sent American at all smiles. Mac and cheese from Italy. one of the most popular dishes here in America. As you can imagine, it started humbly in the country of pasta, yes, Italy. The beloved combination includes curved macaroni pasta and cheese sauce and crispy breadcrumb topping. There are plenty of varieties including additional vegetables, or fancy ingredients such as crab, lobster, or truffles. Fun fact, it was Thomas Jefferson who popularized it, when he had the pasta machine shipped home to Virginia and served the dish at his lavish banquets, while in 1824, his distant cousin Mary Randolph published the first mac and cheese recipe. Meatloaf from Europe. Fasciata braten, meat bread, vleesbread, rouleau Stefani, asado al limon, polpita, sucana, varsbread, lihamriek, hakbraten, fasciata braten, falscher haze, rouleau, Stefania salad, palpatone, kofta, klaps, roulette, albondigan, impotito, piesenrzymska, babati, kotvarslimpa, dalian kofta, joe, pain of yond. The list of names in so many languages speak for itself. Simple, old meatloaf, but so beloved and appreciated in so many countries, in so many cultures. It is made with a substantial amount of minced meat, most beef and pork. Traditionally mixed with eggs, for the glue properties. There are many additional ingredients, like chopped onions, garlic, cheese, hard-boiled eggs, cilantro, spices, and many more, depending on geographical location. Typically, it is baked in a special mold or formed by hand in the popular shape of a log. Serve slices, with gravy and mashed potato. Gummy Bears from Germany. In Germany, in 1920s a Haribo company was created selling hard candies. Few years in, about 1922, the new product hit the market. Soft jellies, made from fruit flavor gelatin, formed in the shape of dancing bears, Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears almost overnight become a sensation. The German candy maker updates century-old recipes of gummy candies, that has come from Turkish delight and Japanese rice candies. The invention was to use the gelatin instead of starch. Americans love gummy bears. Chocolate bar from England. The chocolate bar, or candy bar, is another treat that it was in fact invented, by British person, not an American one. Joseph Fry, chocolatier, and the owner of Fry's Chocolate Factory in Bristol, discover how to knead cocoa, sugar, and other ingredient into pliable paste, that is can be molded into chocolate bar shapes. It was 1847. The first chocolate bars for mass consumption were just created. Bacon from England. Beloved breakfast item, in America has a lot longer history, than out country itself. Already in times of ancient Rome, there was a dish, called patasso, that is in a way seem like the bacon, we know today. The word bacon itself, comes from around 12th century English word describing any pork dish, to be exact pork back dish. Finally, the bacon as we know, and are crazy about today, appears in its final form around 17th century in England, and from there it is history. Mayonnaise from France. First mentions of mayonnaise sauce appears in French cookbooks somewhere in 18th century. Even though the sauce itself is much older, and there are mentions of it under not exactly the name we know today, long before in France and Spain. This thick, cold, white sauce or dressing so frequently used in sandwiches, hamburgers, salads, and even on French fries. It is so popular, that is also the base for many other sauces, such as tartar sauce, remoulade and rouille. French fries from Belgium. There are not so many dishes in the world that have gained so much popularity as this one. Invented in Belgium, and then spread all over the world. Amazingly simple dish is made from potatoes, cut into sideways strips, and deep fried in hot oil. Eaten it daily, as a side dish or as a snack. Pommes frites shops, called frite-cuts or frietures, can be found throughout the country. Belgian-style pommes frites are freshly prepared, cut into thicker strips and fried on the spot. Ice cream cake from China. Wherever you are thinking about ice cream cake, you will probably think of Baskin-Robbins. The invention of ice cream is generally granted to Chinese people. But in fact, the ice cream cake, in a final form, is one of those dishes that evolved over time. In Renaissance, it was dessert built of cream and biscuits. In Victorian times, frozen cream, ice cream, made its way to the rest of Europe. The ice cream Bombay, special shapes from pre-made molds, frequently had biscuits and cakes added to them. Finally, recipes for dessert resembling today's ice cream cake emerged in the 19th century. Fried chicken from Africa. For many, nothing could be more American than a plateful of fried chicken. First mentions of fried chicken dish, in American cookbooks, appeared around 1860s and 1870s. But this dish is much older than that. On African continent, the seasoned pieces of chicken were fried in palm oil. During American slavery, on the plantations of southern states, Africans were using their cooking traditions, and that is how the dish was implanted in American culture. Chicken fried steak from Germany. You would think that this quintessential Southern dish has a long American history. Where in fact, it has a long history, but on the European continent. It was created in Austria and Germany, and as in most cases, this dish was brought here by immigrants who landed in Texas. With a few local modifications, it quickly became popular in the state, and spread all over the South. Meatballs from Italy. Polpetta. It is Italian word describing meatballs. Traditionally mixture of ground beef or veal, and sometimes pork, that is shaped into small balls. Often enhanced with a wide variety of ingredients such as parsley, eggs, garlic, even mortadella or Parmigiano Reggiano. Italian polpetta are typically eaten on their own as a snack, appetizer, or finger food that is especially loved by children. Thanks to archaeological discoveries, we know that already in ancient Egypt mustard seeds were immensely popular and widely used. It is believed, though, that it was the ancient Romans, who figured out how to make a tasty paste out of them. And from there, the history of this interesting condiment begins. Peanut butter from Aztec Empire. Is made with one ingredient which not American at all. What am I talking about? Almost nothing feels as American as peanut butter, when in fact they were created, not that far away, inside an Inca empire. Europeans first came across peanut in Brazil somewhere in 17th century, where African slaves brought peanut to America 1 century later. First, they were considered only food for farm animals and slaves, but everything changed after the Civil War, when the soldiers discovered their high protein value.